one thing that I want to explain about possession. When it comes to the devil himself, when someone is possessed by the devil himself, that is a very unique type of possession. The reason it's unique is because he's not assigned to one particular person. When you have people that are truly demonically possessed by their assigned demons, it's typically for an indefinite amount of time until, they grow in virtue and are exorcised of that demon. I am experiencing a filling of the Holy Spirit now. And when that happens, your spiritual senses are very acute. I received a vision. And the vision was this: demons will escort people away from the Word of God. And how they do that is they will put their hands over people's ears and usher them away from a holy conversation. As soon as the Lord showed me that, when I'm talking about Jesus, my ex-girlfriend's mother stands up very slowly, and she's hunched over, and she just is walking away from the conversation. In that moment, the Lord showed me there is a demon walking with her, with its hands over her ears. Her stepdad invited me to go down and help them plant in the garden. And I loved that. I was down in the garden and I was working for the Lord. I was planting as if I was planting seeds for the Lord. We get into another argument, and she started dancing in the field, mocking God, flipping off God, cursing at the heavens. Later on that night, we're both laying in bed together, and she's asleep and I'm not. I'm looking out the window up into the sky, and I see the stars, and they're gorgeous, and I'm just talking to God, praying. And I noticed something in the sky. It was a star, but this star was moving back and forth. It was waving all around in the sky. And I was like, hold on a second. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? This is very peculiar. Now, I've seen a lot of peculiar things up until this point, but this was just kind of on a whole new level. So I didn't believe what I was seeing. I thought maybe, the light from the moon and the way it was hitting the glass was just making it look like the star was waving at me. So I said, okay, I'm going to go out in the back deck. I'm going to look up into the sky, and it's not going to be moving. There's a trick on my eyes being played. That star was moving. That star was waving back and forth at me. Someone up in heaven was waving at me. And I ran into the house quietly because everyone's asleep, but on my tippy toes I was running to the bedroom, and I woke up Crystal because I thought maybe if she sees this miracle, she'll believe, and then the devil won't be able to use her anymore. So I woke her up. I said, you have to come outside and see this. A star is waving around in the sky. We go out into the back deck, and she's not happy at all. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm sleeping. I said, let's go outside. I want to show you this star. We go out. I point up in the sky, and that star is not moving now. It's just sitting up there in the sky. She doesn't say anything. I said, but I swear it was moving. I swear. That star was moving back and forth. We go back in the bed together. She rolls over and she says, I hate you, David. And I knew that wasn't her. That was the devil saying that to me. And I just replied with, I love you. Little time goes by. She falls asleep. I look out the window, and then the star started waving at me again. It takes a lot of focus, and I am just fatigued from thinking about Jesus, 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 Jesus. But I have to, because I know that that is the only way that I can keep my mind safe. So I'm dealing with all these strange things, plus being fatigued inside of my mind and in my body. And I am completely and totally relying on the strength of the Lord to see me through this very strange situation. I didn't know what I signed up for. I just wanted some simple answers about why is my life falling apart every time I come close to accomplishing my goals. And now I am in a serious spiritual war with the devil himself. Her stepdad, do you want to talk? And I said yes. We went and we talked, and it was just him and I. Now, he was a beekeeper, and he taught me how to keep bees, honeybees. And we're by the beehives, and it's beautiful. We're by the garden, we're by the beehives. You know, it's a beautiful summer day, and we're just having a conversation, and for once, he really wanted to hear me out. And I just told him. I told him everything that was going on, everything I was experiencing. And I said one thing. When I said this one thing, I could see a shift in his eyes. I said, the world needs more Jesus. I feel a nice cool breeze. And he said to me with a smile on his face, why don't we go up and start the grill? That was his way of saying, let's go get something to eat. You know, let's sit down, let's just, this is a great conversation, let's go make some supper. It's been a long day, it's been a long week. I get you, man. It's like something clicked in his head. Like, you know, I think I believe you. After that happened, I walk up. He walks up. However, I went around the front. He went around the back. I see my ex-girlfriend sitting on the front porch. Her hair is drooped down over her face. And her arms are just like noodles, like spaghetti noodles, just hanging down. And she's just slowly breathing. And I said, what's wrong? I said, me and Greg are gonna go start the grill. Let's go get something to eat. Let's go make some dinner. And she said, come to the bathroom with me first. And I'm like, you're a grown woman, you can take care of that yourself. And what she says next still sends shivers down my spine. What she said to me was, I just want to spend some time with you while I have you for a little while longer yet. He had me. We go to the bathroom. She does her business, not looking at me at all, head still down. And I'm just thinking, okay, I'm not going to say anything. We're not going to argue. I'm going to let her do her business. She's looking in that direction, I'll look in this direction, and I will let the devil have his final moments with me, whatever that means. She finishes, we go outside to the deck, we start firing up the grill. In that moment, I'm looking up into the sky, and then I see a light flash in front of me, and I fall to my knees. And the only thing that I can say about this situation, the only way that I can explain this, is that everything, the whole entire world, everything before my eyes was blossoming like a flower. And God told me immediately, love life. And the only thing that I wanted to do was run out into the world and tell everybody to stop worrying about all of their problems. It's not important. Love life. It's a gift. This is awesome. This is so beautiful. All these problems, the Lord showed me that they are so meaningless and that they're all just mountains of lies. Life is beautiful. And I felt this urgency in my spirit. And I run out of the house through the back door to the front door. And as I'm running, I'm slowing down and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, love life, love life. I was going to run towards the freaking interstate and slow people down and tell them to stop and love life. And I start falling backwards, and now all of a sudden I'm on my back. I'm on my back and I can't move. And I can see my ex-girlfriend over on the porch. She's waving at me to get out of the road, get out of the road. But I can't hear her. Now all these sounds in this world, the sounds of cicadas screaming, the sounds of the traffic, the voices of my loved ones, I can't hear them. They're all being drowned out by some strange silence. And the next thing I know, I am seeing out of another set of eyes. These eyes are now closed, and I'm in this completely new place. A man was standing in front of me, and he had long white and silver hair way past his hips. And it was curly and intertwined, interlocked, and it was gorgeous. It was beautiful hair. I was just blown away by how beautiful his hair was. But I couldn't see his face. He didn't let me see his face. So I would just see a blurry face, long white and silver hair past the hip level. And he goes like this: the only way to the Father is through the Son. And with that, I'm seeing out of these eyes again. And I still can't move, and I'm on my back, and I'm just like looking up into the sky, don't know what's going on. And I hear a voice. And it said, "You will chase fortune and fame for your entire life, but it will elude you forever and ever." And then after I heard those words, the sounds of the world came rushing back in. The cicadas, my loved ones screaming on the porch, the traffic, the neighbors are outside now. And I sit straight up, and I'm hyperventilating. I don't know what's going on, what just happened, where was I? And I'm not registering what's actually happening. You don't have an encounter with God and think, oh, I just saw God. No, it's something I just can't even explain to you guys. There are emotions that don't even have names. I knew in that moment that I would never die. I received eternal life. I felt it. I know that I will never die. Now this body will die, but spiritually, I'm alive. And I got up and I started running down the street again. And but it freaked me out. I knew that I would never die. At that moment, it wasn't a good thing. I was like, and I'm sorry, I'm going to work on my language, but this is what happened in the story. I said, I can't fucking die. I can't fucking die. And I started running and I started screaming. And I had no idea what was happening. And I go into the house and I'm crying and I need an embrace. I need someone to tell me it's okay. I need someone to console me. And they're all looking at me like I'm crazy. The next vision that I had was I was laying on an ocean of treasure. I was rich. I was wealthy. I knew that I was a prince or a king or something of royalty. And I'm thinking in that moment, I never have anything to worry about ever again. I am wealthy. Where did all this wealth come from? And I'm just realizing that all this stuff, all these blessings, they're not manifested in the earth. They're in heaven. And I started to feel sad. I am poor. I am still poor. And the very last thing that I experienced from this situation was all of the demons ran away. And my mind was clean. There was no fears, there was no doubts, there was no stress, there was no worry, there was peace. That's all I felt, an overwhelming peace. I was told, you were born again. You're born again. You're born again. And my family suggested that they take me to a mental institution. And that's where I went. I'm going to leave the story off there. That's where I'm going to stop it. And I'll be back with part 4. I love you guys.